All right, let's dive in. Today, we're breaking down a system that's all about turning the administrative chaos of a law firm into total control. And it's all powered by AI. If you're a legal professional who's ever felt like you're just buried under paperwork or your inbox is a bottomless pit, then you're going to know exactly the feeling we're about to talk about.
First up, let's paint a picture. It's a scene that so many of you probably know way too well. That constant low-level buzz of administrative chaos. You know, it's the disorganized files, the calls you meant to return, and that nagging feeling in the back of your head that something really important is about to fall through the cracks.
It usually starts something like this. You're just trying to keep all the details for every single case straight in your head, while this mountain of clutter just grows and grows. Your desk? It's a complete disaster zone. Your inbox is basically a black hole, and the only backup system you've got is your own memory, which, let's be honest, is already stretched to its absolute limit.
And then, bam! Monday morning hits. You're not starting the week with a clear plan. Oh no, you are in full-on reaction mode from the second you walk in. You're not steering the ship, you're just bracing for impact as the week comes at you full speed. Every single task feels like an emergency, and your whole day is just about surviving until the next one.
And this is where the consequences get really severe. This isn't just about feeling stressed out. When administrative stuff fails, it leads to missed deadlines, stalled cases, and the one thing you can't afford, a complete breakdown in client trust. That gut-wrenching feeling when you realize you've dropped the ball, that's not just a bad day. It's a direct threat to your reputation and your entire practice.
Okay, but what if you could swap all that chaos for an actual system? Well, that's the whole idea behind the DIY AI Law Office Administrative Toolbox. And look, this isn't just a random collection of tips and tricks. It's a complete, structured way to take back control.
So, what's inside this thing? Well, for starters, at its very core, you've got over 150 structured, repeatable prompts that are designed specifically for what a law firm needs.
And these prompts, they're neatly organized across 15 different administrative categories. We're talking everything from case management all the way to client communication.
But the real power, the magic of it, is in its flexibility. It uses 20 different proven prompting frameworks. That gives you multiple ways to tackle pretty much any problem that comes your way.
So how does this actually work? What's the secret sauce? It all comes down to something called framework-based prompting. The best way to think about it is like this. It's the engine that makes the whole toolbox run. It teaches you how to speak the AI's language in a way that's structured, predictable, and gets you what you want.
So instead of just tossing a vague question at your AI and kind of hoping for the best, a framework gives it a perfect blueprint for success. You tell it what to do, why you're doing it, what information it needs, and exactly how you want the answer formatted. It just eliminates all the guesswork and gets you a precise, usable result every single time.
And this right here is the heart of the method. It's called the ICIO framework, and it is so simple but unbelievably powerful. You give it a clear instruction, some context so it understands the goal. You supply the input it needs to work with, and then you define the exact output you're looking for. 4 easy steps to a perfect response consistently.
Now, ICI 0 is your go-to for structured planning, but the system is also smart and adaptable. For those times when you need to do some quick triage instead of deep planning, there are other frameworks. The whole point is having the right tool for the right job so you can move from chaos to clarity no matter what the situation is.
Okay, enough with the theory. How does this actually solve the real, everyday headaches of running a law firm? Let's walk through a super practical example and see these frameworks in action.
Let's tackle a big one. That first call with a potential new client. You know how it is. You're trying to get the key facts, do a quick mental conflict check, manage their expectations, maybe all while you're scribbling notes on a sticky note. It's a perfect recipe for missing something critical and starting that new relationship off on the wrong foot.
But just watch what happens when we apply a framework. The instruction is to create a screening script. The context is your firm's specific practice area. The input is whatever details the client gives you on the phone, and the output, this is where it gets amazing. It's not just a list of questions, it's a systematic checklist for the first 72 hours. Just like that, you've replaced chaotic notes with a perfect, repeatable process.
And here's the most important part. This thing evolves way beyond a single prompt. It becomes a complete system. You can refine it for precision by adding specific conflict triggers. You can build in privacy by using placeholders for sensitive info. You can automate your workflow so it generates the next steps for you. And you can manage risk by teaching it to flag potential red flags. Your simple prompt just became a smart, dynamic compliance tool.
And this is where we zoom out to see the really big picture. This whole approach isn't just about fixing one little task at a time. It's about building an entirely new, scalable operating system for your whole firm.
This slide just says it all, really. You're making a huge shift away from just reacting to things and moving toward a unified, repeatable system that you can scale across your entire team. Every prompt can be used again and again, and every framework gives everyone a consistent way to solve problems. Suddenly, everybody is working from the same playbook.
And the things you can actually create are huge. These frameworks can generate over 20 different types of critical documents. We're talking way beyond just intake checklists. Think detailed procedure manuals, deadline trackers, even training flowcharts. You're not just getting tasks done, you're systematically standardizing the entire operational backbone of your practice.
So what's the end game? What's the ultimate result of putting a system like this in place? It's about making that shift from a state of constant reaction to one of proactive command. It's about getting your firm and your own sanity back under control.
That really says it all, doesn't it? The goal is to stop being the victim of that Monday morning freight train and instead become the conductor. It's that feeling of knowing you have a plan, that your systems are actually working for you, and that you are finally back in the driver's seat.
And that brings us to our final question for you. Think about your own practice for a second. The piles of paper, the crazy inbox. What's the very first chaotic process that you would want to systematize? Where would you start building that order?